Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. Today we need to talk about Michael Pachter, someone who I have had differing opinions from for years, and I haven't really talked about him too much on the channel, but he's always trying to make controversial statements and many times talking out of his ass, and today is just another one of those instances, as he has now said that the reason that Anthem is such a failure is because it was a PC game first, is that it was available for Origin Access Premier, and basically blaming all of the bad reviews on the fact that this game was not meant to be a game on the PC. Now, there has been many issues with Anthem, and the game is a complete and utter train wreck for its lack of content and boring, repetitive gameplay. The simple fact that this was available on the PC a week early because of Origin Premier Access, and the fact that the reviews are so low and being bashed by pretty much every critic in the industry, are few and far between. The controls for Anthem on the PC I actually found after the original demo, which was patched by the time the game released on Premiere, and especially by the 22nd once it was made available to the public, actually got a lot better. Things like the swimming controls were absolutely fine. Flying around with mouse and keyboard, I never had an issue with that whatsoever, flying with mouse and keyboard. I thought it felt absolutely fine. It felt great, actually. I don't think I've played a game like this with such good controls. The combat and everything was also good as well. And there's been many people that have said this. People like Angry Joe, Downward Thrust, other reviewers out there, even Jim Sterling. People have said that the combat, the movement, all of that stuff is actually extremely good, which is why it makes it so disappointing that this game has been bad in every other conceivable way. But first, today's video is brought to you by PowerColor and their Red Dragon RX 580 graphics card. The RX 580 GPU is perfect for 1080p gaming, as seen in countless videos here on the channel. And for just a limited time, they're offering the Red Dragon 8GB RX 580 for just $169, with 2 free games that you get to choose from between Devil May Cry 5, The Division 2, and the well-reviewed Resident Evil 2 Remake. The same deal is also true for the 4GB RX 570 at just $129, and the same game bundle also applies, which is valued at $100 on its own. So check out the links over to Newegg down in the description below. So shooting over to WCCF Tech, this was originally done with an interview with CNBC, but they've got the quote over there, easy for us to go and read and digest and everything like that. And Michael Pachter had this to say with Anthem on the PC. He says, "My personal view is that this is just not a PC game. There is flying in the game. The maneuvering your flying character is like driving a car, and the controls just don't work for that very well on the PC, and they work flawlessly on video game consoles." Now, obviously, what he means there is that it works better on a controller, which usually driving games in general do feel better on a controller. Flying games would probably feel a little bit better on a console, on a controller, I should say, not a console, because you can use a controller on the PC. If you want to play with a controller on the PC, you can play with the controller on the PC, but the fact that he's saying that the PC controls is the main reason why the review scores are going to be so bad, and even going on to say that he thinks it will likely be 10 points higher on average on consoles than it will be for the Anthem PC reviews, which he cites for just being bad with the controls. But Michael Pachter has a long history of hating PC gamers. So going back just a couple of years where he had said in an interview with the Daily Star, he said that "I think PC gamers are like racists. They only like their own kind and they have no interest in venturing out and mixing with other races. PC gamers are arrogant twits who are convinced that what they do is better than what anybody else can possibly do." That is just shocking. Like, that is just, like, are you serious? Like, there is a subsect of people that, you know, the PC master race that, you know, consider themselves in that sense where they won't play any consoles whatsoever. As someone that primarily plays on the PC and does think PC is better in most instances, I also own a console because I realize it's not better in all instances. Consoles in some cases do have better exclusives. The PC has significantly more exclusives, so much more that it's almost incalculable. However, I think we can agree that with consoles, maybe they only get like 6 or so exclusives a year. Let's say on average, like good AAA exclusives. But usually they're all pretty good, especially in my experience on the PS4. Things over in 2018, that they had the new God of War, they had the Spider-Man game, they had, well, Red Dead Redemption 2 wasn't a PS4 exclusive, but it was a console exclusive anyway. But they all had some incredible games last year in 2018, whereas the PC didn't really have any amazing standout exclusives that I can honestly think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there'll be people correcting me down in the comments below that there are some out there. But yeah, saying that we're racist and that we're unwilling to venture onto other platforms is completely ludicrous, as there are many people that own consoles as well as PC, maybe even multiple consoles. And this is the same guy who said back in that same interview back in 2016, he said this about the upcoming Nintendo NX, which eventually turned out to be the Nintendo Switch. The NX is just what it was kind of codenamed at the time. He said that the NX won't sell a lot of units if it turns out to be a $400 handheld device. Speaking to Gaming Blot, he said if it's a console and costs $199, it'll sell extremely well, but if it's a handheld and costs $400, then it's going to be dead in the water. I think we all know how well that ended up panning out, as the Nintendo NX or Nintendo Switch did end up being a handheld device, and it retails for around $300 to $400 if you're getting one with like a game bundle, but around $300. So more than what he said it would sell well for a console, a little bit less than what he would set it for a $400 handheld. Ended up being a $300 more or less handheld. I think they said most people use their Switches as a handheld device, and yeah, so I guess he was wrong on that one as well, wasn't he? Want to know something else that he was wrong about? Back in that article we were talking about with Anthem, he said that the PC version would be 10 points, or he actually said the console reviews will likely be 10 points higher on average than the Anthem PC reviews. So let's go ahead and shoot over to Metacritic, which has obviously never been flawed before, and we can see the Anthem PC reviews for users has right now 2,291 reviews and a score of 4.3. Looking at the Xbox One, it has a score of 3.8 with 338 reviews. So the PC has more people reviewing it and a higher score. But what about the PlayStation 4? Well, guess what? They've also got a lower user score of 4.0 with 506 reviews reporting in from users. So the PC has the highest user score of any reviews. There's not really enough critic reviews out there to really account for yet on the consoles in any way whatsoever. That could be because it was on PC first, but the user scores is really what we're taking a look at here, and the PC has a higher user score than consoles. So clearly, PC gamers aren't going out there and raving in droves about the bad flying controls with using a mouse and keyboard, if those people that aren't dumb enough to plug in a controller, if they really think it's that much better, which it's not, honestly, it's perfectly fine on mouse and keyboard. As I said, I played it for dozens of hours already with using a mouse and keyboard, and I hate the game, and I do not hate it because of the controls. I hate it because there is literally nothing to this game. It's one fucking map. It's a shitty map. The enemies are boring and repetitive. The story is virtually non-existent and not what you would expect from BioWare, who have a long-running tradition with games like Mass Effect and the Dragon Age series, which usually have very compelling stories, and it's a game we were looking forward for them redeeming themselves after the complete and utter train wreck, which was Mass Effect Andromeda. This was the game where they were supposed to make their comeback, and they didn't. It is a complete and utter flop, and only people that are complete fanboys for this game coming out, who haven't gotten over the honeymoon period yet of this game, are still out there clinging to hope that there will be more content in the future, more probably paid DLC in the future. So yeah, sorry but not sorry. You got this one completely wrong again, Michael Pachter. So please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below if you agree or disagree with what I said or Michael Pachter said. I do look forward to your opinions down below. What do you think about the controls on mouse and keyboard for Anthem on the PC release? I do look forward to that discussion. As always, if you enjoyed this video or learned something new, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on it down below. Subscribe if you're not already, and if you have been here for a while, ring the notification bell. That way you never miss a moment of content when it goes up live here on the channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Ta-ra.